Hi, and thank you for your question regarding simplifying complex rational expressions, and this is a great one here that you've given me. So we're looking at taking this rational expression, subtracting this rational expression, and then dividing by this rational expression. I like to just kind of rearrange this a little bit, and we're going to do it sort of piece by piece. We'll do the subtraction first. Because we have to divide all of that anyway by 5 over x squared minus 9. But this actually, when we divide by a fraction, it's the same as multiplying by its inverse. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that around and turn this into a multiplication style question. I'm not going to use the x here for multiplication because I don't want to confuse that with the variable x. So if you're dividing by 5 over x squared minus 9, that's the same as multiplying by the inverse. So multiplying by x squared minus 9 over 5. And we're going to multiply everything inside the bracket once we simplify everything inside the brackets. So that's sort of what my new expression looks like. Okay, let's forget about multiplying. Let's just deal with the subtraction. We are subtracting two rational expressions where the denominators are different, x minus 3 and x plus 3. So what we have to do is we have to look for the LCD, or the lowest common denominator. And when we're doing lowest common denominator for expressions like these, the easiest one to do is to combine the two denominators together by multiplying them together. So our new common denominator will be x minus 3 and x plus 3 together. So what we have to do is get an equivalent rational expression of 4 over x minus 3 when the denominator is now x minus 3 and x plus 3. So I have x minus 3, x plus 3 is my new denominator. I'm going to keep my 4 on top, and because x plus 3 was added to this, I also need to add it to the top too, like this. Oh, not plus 4. What am I doing? X plus 3. And you can see how this would be an equivalent fraction because I could cancel both of these out and I'm left with what I started out with, 4 over x minus 3. So that's how I know I have an equivalent rational expression. Now, since I know I have an equivalent rational expression, I'm just going to remove those green marks, and I'm going to do the same thing for my other rational expression. So 5 over x plus 3, I want to have it also have that lowest common denominator of x plus 3, x minus 3, and then I have the 5, and I'll have x minus 3 up here. And you can see that if I were to cancel out the x minus 3's, I'd have the same one I started with. So this is what they mean by getting the lowest common denominator, because I can't actually subtract these unless the denominators are the same. I'm not sure if I said that at the beginning, but again, it's really important that when you're adding or subtracting rational expressions that the denominators are the same. If they're not, you have to use the lowest common denominator. Okay. Okay, so I'm still working through this. Actually, I'm going to need a little bit more room, so I'm just going to do a quick... Oop. Oh, come on. Okay, so I've just minimized this a little bit so I would have more room. Now what I can do is I can combine this numerator over the same denominator now that I have the same denominator on either side. So I'm just going to simplify everything in the brackets by putting everything, the two expressions, over the same denominator of x minus 3, x plus 3. And then on the top here, I'm going to have 4 times x is 4x. 4 times positive 3 is positive 12. And then minus 5 times x gives me minus 5x. And minus 5 times minus 3 gives me positive 15. So I've combined the numerator on top over top of my lowest common denominator. So I just simplified a little bit more. And now I'm going to combine like terms. So 4x minus 5x gives me minus x. And positive 12 plus 15 gives me positive 27 all over x minus 3, x plus 3. So that's the most I can do to simplify everything inside of the brackets. And now I'm going to multiply by x squared minus 9 over 5. Now hopefully what you'll notice is that x squared minus 9, that factors to x plus 3 and x minus 3. And if the numerator here is x plus 3, x minus 3, that's going to cancel out the denominator on this side. So when I cancel out the numerator here and the denominator here, what I'm left with is negative x plus 27 all over 5. And that is the final answer to simplifying this rational, complex rational expression. Lastly, they want to know what numbers to exclude in the answer. And to do that, you want to take all of your denominators and set them to 0. Because if the denominator is 0, then you're not going to be able to find an answer. So that means that x cannot equal positive 3. And then we're going to do x plus 3. These should be can't equal 0. So that means x can't equal negative 3. And then the last one here, x squared minus 9 can't equal 0. So x squared can't equal positive 9, which means that x can't equal the square root of positive 9, which means that it can't equal negative 3 or positive 3. So the numbers we are going to exclude is that x can't equal negative 3 or positive 3. So that's it for that question. I hope this helps. Just a couple of things. Knowing how to do the least common denominator for sure is needed for this one, and also being able to see that you would have to factor that out so that you could cancel to really get to the most simplified form of that rational expression. Thanks for watching.